If I have to buy only one Japanese made watch, I would go for the Citizen. As the name suggests, Zhenshin means progress in Japanese, and the Citizen has been progressing with the Zhenshin lineup recently. This watch is no exception. It is one of the best Citizen can ever offer at a very good price as well. Let's start with the specifications of this watch. The Zhensin Chronograph has so much to offer. First of all, it has a super titanium body with an integrated design, a textured dial, a chronograph function which is powered by Citizen's Eco Drive movement. If you want to know the science about it, it converts sunlight into mechanical energy and powers the watch. With a case size of 46.1mm including the crown and 39.5mm excluding it. The thickness of 12mm, lug width of 25mm and lug to lug width of 44.4mm. The indices are filled with super luminova which shines bright in almost all light conditions. I think Citizen has nailed the design of this watch. Some may say that it looks like an AP Royalo or a Tissot PRX or a Zenith L Primero, but it is something unique. The salmon dial pops, which makes the watch unique and desirable. The textured dial is very subtle. You can't see any design as such from afar, but once you look into the watch closer, you can actually appreciate the textured dial. It's very subtle and hard to notice. The black sub-dials and silver indices and markers complement the design. The tachymeter scale is also black. The date marker is conveniently placed at the 4 o'clock position without making the design too much crowded. The sub-dials and tachymeter scale have white text which ensures visibility in the black background. Overall, very good design choice. You cannot complete this video without talking about the build quality of this watch, which is its main selling point. The build quality is just exceptional when it comes to this watch. It is made up of super titanium, which is an alloy of titanium specific to Citizen. So it is probably a grade 5 titanium, but they have not mentioned it. So it's super light and you have a sapphire crystal glass as well. So they have not skimped out on the quality of this watch. You cannot see any scratches as such when it comes to titanium watches unless it is up by another titanium watch. It is more of a matte titanium finish with an integrated bracelet which makes it much more elegant, and you still have some polishing of stainless steel here and there on the bezel as well as the pushers. It's not completely titanium. You still have some stainless steel bits to make it look shiny at some places, but majority of the watch is titanium and it's just really good. The hands and indices are filled with super luminova in this watch, and it does not disappoint. When it comes to the color of the lume, it has a greenish blue hue to it, which we've seen in more premium Swiss watches like Tissot, Rado and Omega. So when incorporating that kind of lume in this watch, even Seiko does that, but this watch, it makes it feel more premium. And if you're under very bright sunlight and come to a darker area, you'll be amazed by looking at the lume, which is very beautiful to see actually. Being a mid-tier watch, this watch is priced at 59,900. You don't need to be worried, it doesn't sell at that price. You get it way lesser, at least 15% off in most of the places right now. For this price, I feel this watch is a heavy competitor for the Seiko Prospex chronograph, as well as many other chronographs out there. If you're looking at comparing a Seiko Prospex and this watch, I would rather go for this watch than the Seiko Prospex because of its looks and material. You buy a Seiko Prospex, you get only stainless steel, whereas here you get a titanium finish, which is the best part about this watch. I feel there are only two limitations in this watch which could have been improved. First of all is the chronograph function. The chronograph pushers in this watch don't have the tactile feedback you have in other watches. So basically what I'm trying to say is, if you start the chronograph, you have the tactile function, and again when you stop it, you might not have it. And sometimes the tactile function which you're using to start the chronograph also doesn't function properly. Sometimes you get a tactile feedback and sometimes you don't. So that is quite misleading when you're using the the chronograph. Whereas when you reset the chronograph, the tactile function is perfect each and every time. So that is something that I feel could have been improved in this watch. And the other thing is, this watch is an eco drive movement. I'm not saying that eco drive movements are bad, but when you compare it to the other Zhensin lineup, this is the only eco drive variant in a chronograph. You do have chronograph as well as automatic variants, but you do not have an automatic variant when it comes to this specific lineup. They have it in other series, but not this one. The automatics with a small seconds or just a 3-hand automatic movement is way lesser than this watch, which is quite fair because it doesn't have a chronograph function. But if they had released an automatic variant of this watch at a little lesser price, it would have been a game changer. But you need to properly store the watch in sunlight, or when you're storing the watch in dark, it can't last for more than 6 months. And again, you'll have to set the time, and there might be functional problems without exposing it to sunlight. So that is the two limitations I see in this watch. Before I answer that question, first of all I have to say that this watch is perfect for almost all wrists. Even if you have a slim wrist, this watch's dimensions might be higher, but it wears smaller than it's supposed to. It has the looks, it has the materials, it has everything a premium watch should have, but a price which justifies all of it. The design is made in such a way that it looks very perfect in almost all wrists, and it is a must buy according to me, as it is a great value for money watch, and it was one of the most hyped watches of 2024 as well, and still people are eyeing to buy one of these watches. If you wear this watch, you'll definitely get more compliments than you wear any other watch. So that has happened to me, so I'm telling you with confidence. So these are my honest thoughts on the Citizen Zhensin Chronograph. If you haven't seen my previous video about Quartz Cube Aqua, you can check it out here, and the playlist of all the watch videos I've made over here. I'll see you next with another exciting video. Until then, peace out.